Welcome to the Money Over 50 podcast, brought to you by Michael Hogue and Ali Hogue from Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. This information is general in nature and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs. Therefore, you should consider whether the information is appropriate for you and your personal circumstances. If you require personal advice, please contact Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. Here are your hosts, Michael and Ali Hogue.
Welcome to the Money Over 50 podcast. Ali here by myself and talking to absolutely nobody again, but I've got a pretty good topic that I sort of want to discuss today. The main idea is basically what can you do if you don't have enough money to retire on based on your lifestyle. So I guess there's four main, ideas that I've got here on what you can do. I'll start with the first one. So this option here is probably the least preferable idea. Now, this one is to basically spend your money until you run out of it and then essentially live on or get used to live on, forced actually to live on the age pension at some point. So I guess it's an actual option that you can do, and some people may have experienced this. Some listeners or know of someone who's been in this situation where they just didn't have enough money in retirement savings, and they basically used it all to a point where they ran out of retirement savings and are now relying on the age pension. So I guess there's a few negatives with this one in particular. You don't have any money to sort of cover any unexpected expenses. Living on the age pension can be a bit tough. I know a lot of people who find it hard to go through the day to day doing this, but then there are some who actually can and do enjoy life living on the age pension. They've just really, adjusted their lifestyle to suit what they can do. So it is an option there. I guess in financial planning, any planner that sort of wants you to run out of money before you retire is probably not a good financial planner. So it's an option that you can do, but it's not something I'd recommend or many other financial planners would recommend. But it's there, it's an option. But yeah, again, that lifestyle just won't be to where you want it to be. And with a little bit of work before retiring, you can probably put yourself in a better position where that's not happening. Number two is if you've hit retirement and you just don't have enough to, meet your living expenses and meet the, lifestyle needs that you're accustomed to, what you can essentially do at that point in time is basically draw up a really detailed budget and just do a massive cull on any expenses, on any sort of parts of your lifestyle that just don't need to be there, and just really find out what you hold most valuable and what you actually don't really care about, and then remove those items and then just adjust your lifestyle very hard. I don't know if that's the right word, but you want to do it as quickly as possible and then just adjust immediately. Now, again, this is another one where I'd say it's not preferable. You want to be ahead of the game in this sort of area. So I guess with financial planning, again, this is something that we sort of look at when clients come in preparing for retirement, and we essentially look at what they are currently spending at the moment and what they expect to retire on and what that lifestyle looks like. And it's just that, again, we talk about this over and over again. Financial planning is about trade-offs, and it's about communicating those trade-offs and saying, hey, look, if you want to spend $70,000 in retirement in the future, but you're currently spending about $120 as a couple, what do we want to do? Do we want to actually test drive that retirement, any of that spare cash flow that we got above and beyond those lifestyle needs, particularly when you're nearing close to that retirement? Do we want to test drive that and use any of that spare cash flow in a better place and make sure that it's building our retirement savings? So that's a better way to do it, is to, get ahead of the game and then look at culling and adjusting our lifestyle before we actually reach retirement. Now, option three, is this would probably relate a lot more to, say, people that are in big cities such as Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane, where property prices are huge, and most of your working life you've probably spent that time paying down those home loans, and all sorts of other living expenses when it comes to living in those big places. But basically, all your retirement savings, or a large majority of your savings, are tied up in your home. So what you could essentially do at that point is really have a look. Okay, do I need this house? The kids aren't here. The place is huge. It's the maintenance costs a lot. Even just looking after it and keeping it clean, it's taking too much time. Is that what I want to be doing in retirement? Or would I rather be travelling to see family, travelling overseas, or travelling around Australia, or whatever it is that is more important to you, and actually weighing those up. Again, trade-offs, weighing those up, seeing what's more important to you. And if you do realise that, hey, I can't work anymore, I do want to retire, I don't have enough money, but I've got this large asset that has a whole heap of my savings tied up in it. Potentially I could use that and downsize that and use those extra proceeds from downsizing and put that towards my retirement savings, which will actually get me into a position where I can actually enjoy my retirement and do the things I want to do. So that's a really good conversation to have with some clients, and dig deep into figuring out what exactly is important to you. And if having that huge home that's worth over $1 million just really isn't that important anymore, potentially you could just use that to get you to where you need to be for retirement as well. Now, another option, so you would have heard us talk about this, and a lot of our clients tend to do this as well, is you could basically semi-retire. You could, during those final years, I guess, in your working life, maybe you want to retire at 60, and then you realise full-time work's just a bit too hard. You'd rather do something that's a bit easier, more enjoyable. You might get a bit less money, but essentially you can use those extra funds to, one, you can basically live off, if you're earning enough, you could live off those amounts and just let your retirement savings continue to grow in the background. You'll still get employer contributions. And if you met a condition of release during that time as well, there might be other ways to claim tax deductions by drawing money out of super and putting it back into superannuation to receive those tax savings as well. Also, there's another option as well among that, is potentially if you're just working a little bit just to help fund your holidays, you can still draw an income from your account-based pension, and that money coming from that employment can be used as a supplement income, which can help fund holidays or help top up the extra that you need for your lifestyle needs, and basically get you in a better position, or give you the cash flow that you need to fund that sort of lifestyle during those early years, particularly while you've got the energy. So if you're a big traveler, you might find that you really want to do your traveling in the first few years of your retirement, and getting a little bit of extra money, a bit of extra income during that time can really help and take the stress off your retirement savings and allow that to continue to grow. And so then once you've decided you fully wanted to stop the travel, or not fully stop, but if you want to slow down your travel and fully stop work, at least then your retirement savings will be in a better position, and you might decide that you don't need to draw as much of an income at that point as well. Now, those are the 4 options that I thought of off the top of my head. Now, there are many other options that could potentially pop up. You could use a combination of these as well to help you get yourself in that right position or make use of the assets that you've got. But essentially, there are options that you can think of. It's all about trade-offs. It's about weighing what's important to you, what's not important to you, and what you have the energy to do, and then making a decision from that. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Money Over 50 podcast with Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. For more information and resources, visit the Money Over 50 website, mo50.com.au. We look forward to catching up again soon.